What if I told you that the secret to becoming powerful, respected, even feared, is not about being the best? It's about acting as if you already are. And that mindset? It was weaponized by one of the most cunning thinkers in history, Niccolò Machiavelli. Are you ready to unlock his ruthless code of power? Power doesn't belong to those who wait for it. It belongs to those who act as though they already possess it. In a world obsessed with humility, obedience, and playing fair, one man dared to say the opposite. Niccolò Machiavelli, a name that echoes through history like a storm, not because he was gentle or virtuous, but because he understood the raw, unfiltered truth about human nature and control. He didn't just observe power, he dissected it, weaponized it, and revealed how you could manufacture greatness by simply behaving as if you already had it. This isn't about arrogance, it's about strategy, a psychological game where your confidence becomes your armor and your attitude becomes a sword. Today, we dive into the dark waters of Machiavellian philosophy, where masks are power, appearances are everything, and those who act as if they're superior become superior. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is for the ambitious, the bold, the ones who are tired of being overlooked and underestimated. You will learn how to think, speak, and move like the best, even before the world recognizes it. Because once you believe you are the best, you no longer need permission to become it. Let's begin. Part 1. The Theater of Power begins. Imagine a grand stage, lights focused on the lead, applause echoing in every corner. The audience doesn't cheer for the one who hesitates or second guesses. They cheer for the one who walks in as if they own the moment. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone else. To him, life was a performance, and those who act like kings are treated like kings. You see, the world doesn't reward the most talented, the most intelligent, or even the most capable. It rewards those who show up with certainty, those who speak with authority, even when they're still figuring things out inside. That's the cruel truth most people are afraid to accept. Perception becomes reality. The person who acts as if they are the leader eventually becomes the leader. Not because they were chosen, but because they positioned themselves so convincingly that the world couldn't look away. So what does this mean for you? It means you must become a master of appearances. You must act the part before you earn the title. Walk into a room like you belong there. Speak as if people have no choice but to listen. Stand tall, even when your knees shake. Because the moment you wait for validation, you lose power. Part 2. Confidence is manufactured, not granted. Most people believe confidence is something you're born with, that some people just have it and others don't. But Machiavelli would laugh at that idea. He believed confidence is a tool, crafted, forged, and calculated. It's something you decide to wear like a tailored suit, whether you feel it or not. Look around you. Some of the most powerful figures in history, leaders, CEOs, politicians, were not always the most skilled, but they knew how to project confidence even when they were uncertain. They knew how to make people believe, and belief is everything. When you walk, do it with purpose. When you speak, let your voice carry conviction. When you enter a room, scan it slowly, not with fear, but with dominance. You don't need to say a word for people to feel your presence. The power is not in who you are, it's in how you present yourself. When others hesitate, you act. When others wait for the right moment, you make the moment right. Machiavellian psychology isn't about being fake. It's about becoming who you need to be in order to win the game of influence. Part 3. Control the narrative or be controlled. Here's something Machiavelli wrote in The Prince. It is not necessary to be virtuous, but it is necessary to appear so. What does that mean in today's world? Simple. People will judge you not by your intentions, but by your image. If you don't shape how the world sees you, the world will shape it for you, and rarely in your favor. You must take control of your own narrative. Don't let your past, your critics, or your insecurities define who you are. Instead, craft your image deliberately. Want to be respected? Then carry yourself like someone who deserves it. Want to be seen as powerful? Then start moving like someone who commands power. Tell people who you are, through your posture, your tone, your behavior. Don't wait for someone to discover your greatness. Display it unapologetically. Because in Machiavellian strategy, the illusion is as powerful as the truth, and when used correctly, it becomes indistinguishable. Part 4. The mask you choose becomes your identity. Every day, you wake up and put on a mask. You wear the mask of the obedient employee, the agreeable friend, the nice guy who never makes waves. But deep inside, you feel something more. You feel the urge to rise, to speak, to lead. Machiavelli's ruthless insight was this: if you want to change your destiny, change your mask. Pretend to be confident long enough, and confidence will become real. Pretend to be fearless long enough, and fear will no longer control you. Pretend to be powerful, and the world will start treating you as such. This is not delusion. It is transformation. The mask you choose becomes your identity. The power of acting as if lies in repetition. The more you behave like the person you want to become, the faster you rewire your brain, your habits, your mindset. People will say, "You've changed." Good. That's the point. Part 5. Power is not given, it is taken. We are taught to wait our turn, to follow rules, to be polite. But Machiavelli believed something very different. He believed that power is not given, it is taken. The world is full of people waiting to be noticed, waiting to be promoted, waiting for the right moment. But the few who rise to the top are those who take initiative. They don't wait for permission, they create opportunity. When you act as if you're already the best, you stop seeking validation. You begin to move as if your position is inevitable. You take risks others won't. You ask for things others are afraid to demand. You radiate boldness, and that boldness attracts influence. People follow those who seem to know where they're going, even if they don't. So instead of waiting for someone to recognize your potential, embody it. Instead of hoping someone gives you power, take it through confidence, clarity, and relentless action. Part 6. Mastering emotional detachment. Machiavelli believed that sentimentality is a weakness in leadership. If you want to rise in this world, you must master your emotions, or they will master you. This doesn't mean becoming cold or heartless, it means becoming strategic. Emotion should never override reason. When people insult you, stay calm. When they doubt you, let your success be the answer. When they challenge your position, respond, not with rage, but with quiet dominance. Detach emotionally. Respond intellectually. Why? Because the one who stays calm under pressure controls the game. And this is what separates those who rise from those who crumble. The ability to remain composed while others fall apart. Your composure becomes your strength. Your silence becomes your weapon. And your ability to think rather than react becomes your superpower. Part 7. Speak less, command more. There's an old Machiavellian tactic. Say less than necessary. Why? Because power often lies in mystery. The more you reveal, the more predictable you become. The more you explain, the more people find holes to exploit. Speak with precision. Let your words carry weight. Make people lean in, not back away. When you speak, do it with intention. Let silence do the rest. The loudest person in the room rarely has the most power. It's the one who speaks last. The one who chooses words like weapons, sharp, deliberate, and effective. This isn't about manipulation. It's about control. Control your narrative. Control your tone. Control your influence. In the world of Machiavellian power, silence isn't weakness. It's dominance. Part 8. Appearances are everything. Machiavelli wasn't just obsessed with power. He was obsessed with appearances. He knew the truth. People believe what they see, not what you say, not what you intend, but what they perceive. So what do they see when they look at you? Do you look like someone who knows their value? Do you act like someone who commands respect? From your dress to your body language, from your energy to your tone, everything communicates. Whether you're aware of it or not, people are always watching, always judging. And this is where many fail. They show up looking unsure, sounding uncertain, moving timidly, and then wonder why no one takes them seriously. If you want to be taken seriously, then present yourself seriously. Walk like you have a mission. Speak like your voice matters. Look people in the eye, not with arrogance, but with unshakable self-respect. Because perception is reality. And in Machiavelli's world, if you appear powerful, you are powerful. Part 9. Learn to be feared without being hated. One of Machiavelli's most famous teachings is this: it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Now, this doesn't mean becoming a tyrant. It means commanding respect that goes beyond friendliness. If you're only liked, people will push your boundaries. But if you're respected, they'll think twice before crossing you. Learn to create healthy distance. Be friendly, but firm. Warm, but untouchable. Set boundaries. Enforce them without apology. Being feared doesn't mean being cruel. It means being powerful enough that people hesitate to disrespect you. Your presence should make people straighten their posture, not because you're intimidating, but because you're unmistakably in control. Part 10. Act as if until you become. This is the heart of Machiavellian strategy, the soul of psychological dominance. Act as if until you become. Act as if you're already the leader, and soon others will treat you like one. Act as if you're worthy of success, and you'll begin making decisions that attract it. Act as if you've already arrived, and you'll start moving like someone who belongs at the top. This isn't fake confidence, it's becoming. Every powerful figure you admire once stood where you are, unsure, unseen, unproven. The difference? They acted as if they belonged at the top, until they did. Part 11. Influence is a game of subtlety. Power doesn't always come with volume. Sometimes it enters the room in silence, unnoticed, until it's too late. Machiavelli understood this nuance deeply. The most effective influence isn't forced, it's felt, it's subtle. It works quietly behind the scenes, shaping opinions, altering decisions, and steering outcomes, without ever being seen as the force behind them. This is the art of influence. You don't need to dominate every conversation to be dominant. You don't need to interrupt others to control direction. Influence is often strongest when it feels like the idea came from the other person. Plant seeds of thought. Make others believe the decision was theirs. Guide without appearing to lead. Why? Because when people believe they're in control, they resist less. And in resisting less, they surrender more. This is strategic humility, tactical silence, quiet power. To act as if you're the best isn't to announce it with a megaphone. It's to behave in a way that makes others believe it before you even say a word. Subtlety isn't weakness, it's elegance. And it's one of the most dangerous tools in the Machiavellian playbook. Part 12. Become immune to criticism and praise. Here's a paradox of power. The more you rise, the more noise surrounds you. Some will praise you, some will mock you, many will doubt you, others will try to tear you down. Machiavelli would say, let none of it move you. To truly act as if you're the best, you must rise above both criticism and praise. Why? Because both are traps. Praise can inflate your ego and dull your instincts. Criticism can wound your confidence and slow your momentum. The secret is to become indifferent to both. Operate from your internal compass, not external validation. Do what you know is necessary, regardless of applause or attack. This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being anchored, grounded in your mission, immune to the emotional roller coaster others want to put you on. Because if someone can control you with flattery or shame, then they control your power. You want to be truly dangerous? Learn to keep your energy the same, whether they cheer you or try to cancel you. Consistency in character is rare, and that's what makes it royal. Part 13. Build alliances, but trust. Selectively, Machiavelli didn't just write about individual power. He also wrote about alliances and how crucial yet dangerous they are. In life and in power, you will need people, but not everyone around you should be allowed close. Trust is the most expensive currency in the empire of influence. Spend it wisely. Allies are necessary, but even your allies can become rivals when envy creeps in. So what do? Build alliances. Yes. Support others. Yes. But always maintain leverage. Never give away more than you can afford to lose. Keep something for yourself. Machiavelli would advise this. Help others rise, but never let them rise higher than you without your control. Know their weaknesses, their motives, and their limits. Always keep your inner circle small and your outer circle structured, because the moment you trust recklessly is the moment you hand over the keys to your kingdom. And never forget, even Julius Caesar was stabbed by those he considered brothers. Power makes people forget loyalty. Prepare for it. Part 14. Learn when to strike and when to wait. Impatience is the enemy of power. You might feel ready to act, ready to assert yourself, ready to take control. But Machiavelli warns, never act out of urgency, act out of timing. Sometimes the most powerful move is to wait, watch, study, observe, see who's exposing their weaknesses, who's too emotional, who's revealing too much. The moment you strike must be perfect, because one wrong move, one emotional reaction, one mistimed word, and the illusion of superiority crumbles. You want to be effective? Move like a chess master. Let your opponent think you're inactive until they've played into your trap. When you act, do it decisively. No hesitation, no second guessing, but don't confuse movement with progress. There is wisdom in delay. Patience isn't passive, it's strategic. The one who can wait with calmness and strike with precision is the one who writes history. So next time you feel the urge to prove yourself, don't. Let your silence build pressure. Let your presence unsettle. And when the time is right, act so boldly that no one can ignore it. Part 15. Rewrite the rules of the game. Here's the final truth. Machiavelli knew better than anyone. The game is rigged until someone bold enough rewrites the rules, and that someone can be you. You don't have to play by society's script. You don't have to follow the paths others followed. You don't need to seek approval from people who have no power to elevate you. To act as if you're the best is to step into your own story as the main character, not the supporting one. Challenge the norms. Question the rules. Refuse to shrink. History remembers those who changed the structure, not those who obeyed it. You're not here to blend in. You're here to stand out. Machiavelli's psychology teaches us that power is not found in conformity. It's found in courageous audacity. The willingness to believe, behave, and become before anyone else agrees. So rewrite your story. Own your flaws. Weaponize your presence. And when they ask you, "Who do you think you are?" you answer calmly, with a quiet smile, "I am the best. I decided that long before you noticed." Because in the end, that's what power is. It's not given. It's not inherited. It's chosen. And once you act like you're the best, no one will be able to convince you otherwise. Conclusion: become what you project. This is your reminder. You don't have to wait. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to be chosen. You can choose yourself right now. Machiavelli didn't write for the passive. He wrote for the brave, for those willing to rise, even when no one believes in them yet. So wear the mindset, speak the words, project the energy, act as if you're the best, and eventually you will be. Because no one is better than the person who already believes they are.